I'm Martine.
And I'm Nathan.
And we're free to explore. And we're going to give you an awesome tour of our van. We've had so many questions and so many messages asking us about the drop-down bed, the chassis, off-road. And before we gave a review, we wanted to really test it out. So we've been living in it for about 11 months and we've even taken it to the tip.
So we picked up the van in November last year and we wanted to really put it to the test, make sure the things that we loved, we know what we love, the things that we thought we might have loved, we might not love anymore, and the things that we might change for next time. So we're going to show you exactly all those things and go from here.
And just so you know, there's some stuff on the van that is important to me, and there's some stuff on the van that I don't care about.
So the pretty little things.
We're going to tell you from my perspective, because when we were caravan shopping, I was worried about things that were very different to what he was worried about. And so we are rookie vanners. This is our first van.
Speak for yourself.
You have not owned a van before, and we want to show you and hopefully take away some of that overwhelm and some things that we wished we had known, and a video we could have watched before we got our van to go and explore this beautiful country, Australia.
And what we did was, obviously we had a few vans that we ended up with. It started off with 100 vans like most people.
That Brisbane caravan show, in the end we ended up putting down a deposit because I was like, oh my god, just I don't care, I don't even know, they were all mixing into one. It was like
the deposit isn't with the van we've got now though. So we actually went with the Royal Flair Aussie Mate family triple bunker,
and we got it fully off-roadable.
And we're super happy with what it's done and you know what we can do with it.
And I'm medium maintenance, because if I was high maintenance I wouldn't live in a van, so there was no way we were having a bed. I was not having him crawling over me and I was not crawling over him. So there are some awesome things in our van that we love, and I would not be able to cope living on the road full time without.
Definitely. So let's show you around the van. Let's start with the outside, eh?
No, I want to do the inside.
Whatever, we're starting the outside. Okay, let's have a look. So this is our van and we're going to start with the external. That's all the stuff that I was passionate about. I wanted to make sure that we could take it off-road, that we weren't going to be seized, the suspension was going to be great, and we wanted to make sure that we could take this van absolutely anywhere. So let's start at the very front. Now, with our van, we obviously have a fair bit of stuff. We have 3 children and we have a lot of gear. So we wanted to make sure that we had a sturdy frame. So what we did was actually went with a different type of chassis. Now, rather than a normal galvanized chassis, we actually went with an aluminium chassis. That actually allowed us to have an extra 150 kilos of weight loss from being able to do that. So that was a huge thing for us. Boom, here she is. Now, the van itself has a tare weight of 3.1 tonne, and it has a ATM of 3.9 tonnes. So what that means is that we have around 800 kilos of payload. So it means we can carry 800 kilos, and that's including our water, etc. So it's something we wanted to have. We don't necessarily need to use it all the time, but it was there just in case. Now, for us to be able to do that, there's a few things that has to happen. We had to do an upgrade on our vehicle, but we also had to do an upgrade on the actual van itself. The hitch. This is a big bad boy. It's a 4-ton BTC upgrade done through Lovells. Now what it means is that I can legally tow on this hitch up to 4 tonne, although based on my ATM I can only tow 3.937, whatever it is stamped on my plate at the moment. So this is obviously one big thing that we needed to make sure was right, and we got it done from the start. We run obviously 12 pins with solar Andersons, and we also have a reverse camera as well, which I'll show you at the back. We've also, as part of that requirement, we also carry and use these weight distribution bars. These will just give us a bit more stability on the road. So as you can see, they are quite heavy, but they mean that obviously we are legal to be able to carry this type of weight in our caravan. On the front here, we've actually gone with a trailer mate here, which is obviously our way to jack up the van. Because it is a larger weight, ball weight, we're probably talking about 400 kilos. Obviously we needed the blue version. It just meant that we can safely take this up. We do actually have a spare which we can actually use in the future if we want to. We run 2 9-kilo gas bottles as well. In hindsight, I probably would have just gone with the 2 4.5s. Really, we just gonna use one bottle and it lasts a couple of months anyway, so there's not really much point of really having those 2 9 kilos. It's probably extra weight, so in hindsight, I'd probably only drop it in 4.5, which is something we might do in the near future. A bit of a stone guard here, which is obviously a protection to for stones, etc. Now, what we actually learned from the Cape York experience, you'll probably see up here, there are some markings up here. So what it shows to me from about here onwards, there's a few stone chips. So one of the things that this stone guard does do is protect the lower portions, but unfortunately not the top versions. So a way you could counteract that would be put some stone guard or rock tamers on your vehicle as well. The toolbox at the front, so it's a double-sided. We've got one side here which we run all our, we just put our hoses, our grey water hoses, our electrical gear and our floor mats in there, so it's pretty good in there for a bit of storage. So we have on here double bike racks, which is for obviously our bike riding experiences. You'll probably see by my lip, we went mountain biking the other day and I smashed myself. So
Nathan needs training wheels.
I might get rid of my bike now. The other thing I've got there on our front is our Self-I Go booster, but we've actually put a broomstick antenna. The way this works is a simple clamp, undo it, do it up, tighten it up, and we can just put this up. Whoa! It is up and erect, so it is a big thing, and it actually is really good for boosting signal on our Self-I. So with this boost just Telstra, so it doesn't boost Optus. We wanted this because it meant that we can get some reception, which is great.
So it was non-negotiable for me because I work on the road and I needed to have Wi-Fi, so this was a non-negotiable for me. And we also have one in the car.
Honda generator.
Jenny,
that's Jenny the generator. Now Jenny is on a slide. Now Jenny can go back and slide backwards and forwards, and we don't really use it that much. It only really gets used when we're off grid for a long period of time and where we don't get any sun. But in Australia we tend to get quite a bit of sun, so it's only really there for backups really. So it's really tough because it's so much weight that we don't really want, but it's sometimes needed. A tunnel boot, which is a right straight through. As you can probably see or not see, you've got a tunnel boot that goes all the way through. We put our chainsaws, fishing rods, all that type of stuff in there. Keeps it all out of the way. It's pretty good. Toilets, you don't want to really see in there. Got our grey water outlet there. 17-inch wheels on Vanessa. Vanessa's our van's name, just to let you know. Got the Cooper ST80 all-terrain tyres on here as well, which, yeah, they're great tyres, super good wearing, and we've had those obviously since November as well. In terms of water filling, we've got a couple different ways we can fill them, either through these little things here. We have 2 tanks, both are 95 litres, which is good, because it means that we can have enough water for over a week with 5 people, which is good. So we can fill them up that way there, or we can just simply fill it up here as well. I prefer here because it's easier. I can just clip it straight into, well, obviously we're not connected to water at the moment because we've got enough in our tanks. So we can either use obviously off mains or through our tanks and just click something like that. Now what I might do is just show you underneath here as well with our suspension that we're running. The suspension we're running was really important for me because if we don't have suspension and we're on roads, especially off-road or even just any kind of corrugated roads, they can really do some damage to your van and everything inside it if you don't run the right suspension. So we went with Control Rider tandems. You can see they're running with the Munro shocks. That's super great. They've got the, you know, the flexibility just to be able to carry the van without having to, you know, feeling all those bumps and grinds. So they've been absolutely fantastic. The other thing with obviously with our suspension that we like is the airbags, which run in, you know, correlation with these, and they're absolutely fantastic, and I'll show you around the other side once we get there. Just our obviously mains, you've obviously got your trip there, and you've also got your input 360 just behind. Yeah, there's some vents for our gas and our gas hot water there. Under your reversing camera, sometimes I use a reversing camera depending on who I've got reversing me. If it's one of the children or even Martine. I might rely on that more so than the actual commentary, so it's actually handy just to have that up there. And again, just the fuel double bike racks. Yeah, ladder, which is so many times we've just needed to get on the roof or get to something, we can't get to it, so this is great to have. Diesel heater. We actually never thought we'd really need the diesel heater, to be fair, because we thought, oh, you're in Australia, it doesn't get that cold. But we were quite wrong, because there was a time just when we were leaving, I think we were in Harvey Bay somewhere, and that's not even renowned to be cold, and we chucked this on and it was instant. Within about a minute we were finding temperatures that we were like comfortable with, rather than having to put thousands of layers on. So, which is great. We've got our spare wheel, we've got obviously the bar here which we carry our jerrys. We have unleaded for the generator for Jenny, and we have a spare diesel just in case as well. Sometimes I keep this full, or sometimes it's empty depending on where we are. I always try and rotate that fuel as well, just so they don't go off. Obviously when we're free camping, it's really important to take your crap out with you. Don't be that person and leave your stuff everywhere. Put it in here. And behind that, actually, we put our campfire, which I can show you a campfire just over there. It's a great little campfire, actually. It's probably one of the things that I thought might not work, but it's really a really great thing to actually have. It's pretty much a slider in between there and snatch her on. Oh yeah, the light. So let's jump up and have a look at the light. This is on the front and the back. I did miss it on the front, but they're really good lights actually. We had it on one night and we pretty much woke up the entire campsite because we forgot to put it on. Let's have a look at this side. Now this side we haven't put in a slide out kitchen. So as you'll see under this lid, we have a 3-burner barbecue with a knob missing.
Oh, that sucks.
Knobless. But it still goes right being knobless. I can just change knobs. This just has a little kitchen thing. So just keep the oil and some utensils, chopping board. Sink in here as well. We don't really use a sink. It's probably just something for extra weight. Even probably next time we might even think about as an alternate having a induction and maybe steering away from the gas side of things. Just another storage thing here. It's a great little storage. We just chuck some things in there, so it's pretty handy just to have that outside as well. This is probably one of the things that just makes our life so much more easier, is having this thing here. So click on this. Sometimes it's hard to get into, but this time it's been okay. So this thing here, we can run at different PSI, so up to about 100, but I've got the van up quite high already, but simply going up and that'll actually lift the van up by just using the beat buttons, left, right, or putting them down. So it's just absolutely a huge thing for us, especially on a site which might not be level. You'll find sometimes that you might have a site like this or like this, and you want to be able to level it, and rather having those blocks that you drive up on, which depending on what you like, we found this, we can get our campsite level in under a couple of minutes. So that's huge for us.
And something that was so important was ease. I didn't want to have to be telling him to reverse, move forward, up, down, and I literally just wanted simplicity, ease, and where I had to be the least involved as possible with getting it level and reversing. What's the baby powder for?
So the baby powder, that's for ants. So I use those for if there's any ants in the location, they don't like baby powder. So with the air compressor, the other good thing is that I've got air compressor 100% on all the time. If we're traveling and we need to pump up the tires, we have constant air whenever we need to. So that's a huge thing for us as well. You've just got one normal cigarette lighter plug in there, 2 USB, which is great to have some external power there. So 12 volt USB and a lighter. Obviously got a 240 volt there, an outlet, which is good, so we can use 240 outside whenever we want to. Now this used to be our TV unit. What we found is that we don't really use our TV at all, either inside or outside, so we don't use it. We just took out all of the frames and just had it for other things. At the moment I use this to store our satellite phone. We just purchased this recently just because we are heading out towards west where there might not be reception, so we've got that. And obviously the vodka for when my wife's annoying me.
So what I'm going to tell you about now, because he doesn't care about this stuff, but I think this is freaking awesome.
Do you know how to do it?
Maybe. So I like it though. Basically it gives us,
so what we've got here is some brackets that we've got mounted to the Caravan, and we've got a little external table that we can bring in. So what we have to do is
you gotta put your foot on it.
Foot on it. Yep, that locks in. So we've got a little bar bench here that we can just hang out like this and just, you know, be cool.
But these are the things that are lightweight that you can literally just add on that make your life easier, especially if you want to be cooking in the outdoors. If we didn't have the outdoor kitchen, you could literally put the Ziggy on here. Happy days.
So we have this little picnic table, just folds in pretty easily. Click it up, boom. These muck mats here are really good just on the outside.
Oh,
they keep out most of the crap from the kids.
We have one here.
So yeah, they are absolutely fantastic. We have the awning, which is an Aussie Traveller, I think it is. Yes, it is Aussie Traveller 18 foot. We've got some lighting out here. We've got lighting over the kind of barbecue area. Some lighting out here all along the top as well. LED lighting, which is great. Now, on top of the vehicle, we have our Caravan unit, which has been absolutely amazing. We'll talk about that more inside when we show you how it works. And our air conditioner, which is up top, and our solar panels. So I'll start the electrical side and tell you that we have 780 watts of solar, which is absolutely marvelous. It actually has changed our world. We had 600 to start off with, but now we put 180 more inside.
All right, now we're going to take you inside. Now I'm going to share what's important to me, what I love about it. As far as the technical side of things goes, I don't really care about that, so he's going to explain all of that to you. So
let's come in here and have a look.
Come with us. Muck mat, amazing. When we got that, it changed the amount of crap that we got in here from our kids. We have all sorts of gadgets and we have a very complex light system. Something that was important for me is I wanted a big fridge because we wanted to be able to get off road, and we can last a week. So you can see it's huge. We're currently off grid semi at the moment, and we're not going to be near a quality supermarket for some time, so we've stocked up. We also have storage up here. This is where we keep all of our cords, cables. My Bose noise cancelling earphones are great if you don't want to hear the children when they don't want to go to bed at night, punching on between the bunks. Then we have here a pantry that you can store a ton of stuff, and it's really easy to access. This section is where the kids put all of their schooling. They do distance education. We'll pop another video on about that, so we'll pop it in the links. This is another slide out pantry. This was the only thing that kind of come undone at Cape. It wasn't shut properly, so that led to it falling out on some of the corrugation, but it was an easy fix. We have a gas oven. Something you do need to be careful of is Nathan, I was boiling some eggs, he came in, dropped his shirt here, it caught fire. Thank God we have a smoke alarm. I was outside, come back in, threw it outside, we caused a bit of grass fire, no one died. The van survived. We just like this to give it a bit of colour. It's from Bunnings, it's plastic, but it just gives it that warmth feel, and whenever anyone comes in they always comment on it and ask about it. We have a grill. We do use it a lot. That's how we do cheese on toast, and we sometimes multi-use it as an oven along with the Ziggy. Now we didn't want an oven, we would rather a big drawer to put everything in. So you can see we just have a big storage drawer there, and then this one folds down. That's got our potatoes, onions, and some type of pump. So under here, what do we have? We just store, again, storage. You can see the sink. We've got just some pans, some plastic bags, some of the cleaning stuff, our spices, and then our tea towel. We have a slide out drawer. We just got some non-slip stuff. You can get that at Bunnings, and you can see we have the knives and forks here. And then again, this one is a drop down, and that's just where we keep all our shoes. Under here, that's where we keep our washing powder and just some other bits. This is from Mexico. Maisie wanted to bring that, and who doesn't love a bit of dream keeping? We have a 4 kilo washing machine. It does use a little bit of water. We usually do it on the 59-minute wash, but the Caravan park, some of the washes are filthy, and it's also like $4 to $8 a load depending on where you are. So I would absolutely recommend getting a washing machine in your van. You'll be grateful you did. One of the first world problems for me was the fact that I was only gonna have 2 drawers. So this one is Nathan's. I have 2.
Get it my undies.
Now, one thing, do not get these. They are a pain in the butt, and they like lock all the time. So I definitely would not get them ever again. So you can see that's an example of it there. And then down here, this is where we keep some things that are very important. This is the best handheld vacuum I've ever used. It's a Ryobi. It's got a lithium 5-amp battery, and that comes off. And because we do a lot of online work and I do Zoom calls, this also seconds as my beauty light when the lighting is not amazing. Has the same battery. It just has a charger like this, and we've got a power point under there, so it plugs in. We wanted heaps of power points so that we could charge things, and convenience. I don't know what that is, and I don't have to tell you about that. I think that's a heater.
Diesel heater.
Power point. Some USB, and then the cigarette lighter charger. Now this is a self-light booster. Nathan showed you the big aerial outside, so you literally turn it on and off, and as long as you got a bit of signal, it boosts it. And for ours, it's made life so much easier.
Okay, so this is our electrical system, and it's the big thing that I needed to make sure that we had it right, because I heard so many stories about, no, this is the wrong, we know we struggle with this, but we wanted this right. So we have, as I said before, we have 780 watts of solar panels up on top of the roof, but this is our setup here. So we have a 300 amp hour lithium battery, which is all Enerdrive under the ePro system. We have the Enerdrive ePro 3000 watt inverter, which pretty much means that we can run anything. We can run coffee machines, we can run hair dryers, we can run absolutely anything up to 3000 watts, which is huge. And all of our power points, these are all 240. That means we don't have to worry about only having dedicated ones, which is fantastic. The other thing it has this TriStar controller solar, meaning we can get and pump so much amps into this thing, which is amazing. I'll give you some more information and drop down in the details so you can check it out what our system's like. So that's that's where all our battery systems stored. We also do have other things stored in here. So as you can see here, we have more of the system. We have our diesel heater. In these ones here, we also have just room for little storage bags and stuff. We have 2 more, and we've just got some storage, some of our products, etc. in there, and that's pretty much it.
So up here, this is where we charge all of our devices, cameras, phones, iPads, GoPros, drone. We've got our Telstra and Optus. Some locations you get really good service with Telstra, other places with Optus, so we have both. So because we need it for our work on the road. We have a microwave. I'm not a big fan of microwaves because of radiation. However, living on the road, sometimes you've just got to, get things for ease. In here, we have our air conditioning, hot water pump for the water. Now we have had a few fails driving along with that, and it's been on. This tap has bumped and it fills up. So hot tip, turn that off before you drive. That's our hot water gas, air conditioning remote, the inverter, and just some pens and knickknacks, fuse board, and actually I'll tell you more about that. Up here, we literally keep food. Now this is our bed control, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and is hands down my most favorite part of the van. This is our Enerdrive system, and this is just all the speakers outside. That's our radio, and you can Bluetooth that to your computer, to anything. Here's our switch for the stove. We went with electrics for this, and for me, I can't tell you much about it, but one thing I know that we're sitting at 79% power, It also tells us the power flow, solar charge, and the system load. And you can see we know exactly how much water we have, and it's sitting there. You can see tank 1 is 78%, the other one is 70%, and we have 1% of grey water. So that, for ease, is so cool, and it covers some other things that Nathan will be able to tell you about. This is pretty cool. We can turn all the lights off in one go, and you can pull this off, and let me get the lights happening in here again. Now, lots of these things we love. They're from Bunnings. They just suction onto the wall. They're hooks, holders, another one there. Got them here. This, we put sunscreen in sometimes. Our wallet, hats. Probably wouldn't get it again. I would get something that's better. There's a handrail there. Fire extinguisher down there. Hooks here for our hats. This is really important.
Welcome to the bunk and bathroom tour with us kids. Yes, but
Matai and Maisie. So, Maisie, first of all, to any kids that are thinking about with their family going travelling, how have you found it so far?
I found it pretty good, but you will need to convince your parents to bring a bike, or it gets pretty boring walk around the parks. You need to bring a electronic, because some drives will be a bit longer. Yes, and we're addicted. But you will have to agree on bunks, which is really hard. But we ended up doing it. Matt is on the top, I'm in the middle, Zai's at the bottom. So that's a bit hard. That took us a while.
Show us what you've got in your bed,
Okay.
and how do you store things.
So I have 3 eye pillows. I've got reasons. This eye pillow, cold weather, hot weather, backup. I have a hairbrush in there, hairbands, there were hairbands in here, some body silk for my hair, a necklace, a Fitbit, book, box of star earrings, rocks, special rocks, some pens and stuff. And then I have sleeve ends when I get bored, a teddy, double teddy.
And Maisie's lucky. What's that shelf down the end?
So I have a little secret shelf. They're not secret. My hammock, little backpack, and a t-shirt, which should not be there, but now on to Mad Eyes. Okay, so I got my teddy. Wow.
What's its name?
Snapper.
Snapper, yeah. What else you got up there?
I got Bun, Bunny, Hop Hop. I got my pillows, got my bushes. And then down here I got my stuff.
How often do you use your fan?
Every night, pretty much. Every night, pretty much.
What do you got in there?
Got some stuff. I got my money. Got
So
some...
they did have large storage boxes, but now...
I got Lego. We don't need it because it's too much.
Now, what's been your most favourite thing about travelling so far? What would you say to the kids at home watching?
Never forget our iPads.
What else?
Bring money. Down over to Zali's bunk, and Zali's bunk is at the very bottom. So it's just down there, and we've got a pillow and a blanket or two.
When we first left, we did have big tubs on the end of their bed, but they didn't even fill them or need them. So now they just kind of put their things. Mad Eye's got his Ushies, but it's kind of like their cove that they can have whatever they like. Water backpacks that are really handy for the kids. They fill them up. It means I don't have to carry their water and we're not fighting over drinks. Another cupboard system. So we just have some kids stuff. This is my hairdryer. I did bring a hot tong just for those first world wins occasionally when you feel like adulting and, you know, being all nice. Some hats, storage. This is my third part, so that's my stuff. And then the kids, just a pull-out drawer, and they have a drawer each. If you're gonna live in your van, you need a bathroom. For me, the color scheme was important. That's why we have the white. The guy, Billy, he was a bit hesitant with the white, but it's not that hard to keep clean. We just have magic erasers, wipe it over. Really, really simple. So we've got the sink, got some storage up here. There's also a power point up the top if I do want to blow dry my hair, but it's safe and where the kids will not get electrocuted with any water. Storage under here. Some more room again, toilet paper towels. We've got a first aid kit down there and our beach towels. Hook here. I just have my shower toiletry bag there. And then again, we have more storage here and a couple of hooks. We do have the toilet. We wanted something that was comfortable, but enough room that you didn't have to be like this trying to do your business when you need to. So it is a bit gross that the toothbrushes are there, which is why I keep mine here. Here's our shower. That dispenser is from Bunnings. It's got shampoo, conditioner, shower gel. It's been on there since we started. It hasn't come off. Super convenient. We wanted the black nozzles, bit fancy. but it's our beach house, so we wanted something nice. When we travel, we just take this down, put the shower mat in there, just pop it down on the ground. We've got a fan there. It also has a fan and a light and another sunlight up here. But we wanted something to feel like home. Like I said, I'm medium maintenance. I wanted to be comfortable. I wanted space. And now I'm going to show you the best part, because I have saved the best to last. That is our drop down bed. The questions that we get asked all the time: do we have to strip the bed and remake it every time we use it? No, we don't. But this is what's involved and how long it takes. So literally we come here, there's our little knob thing down here under the table. So put that down. We get the pillows. These are from Wandering Folk. They're outdoor cushions and they're great for watching the stars, and also if you want to have a picnic. And I have one of their picnic rugs as well. These are the pillows. Now underneath that table, it does actually have a leg that drops down. So if you did, on either side, if you did want to sleep people here, and just to give you an idea of how much room there is, you can see why I said you could sleep 5 or 6 people here. Now you can also see in that back corner, that's just got some of my cosmetics and my non-negotiables. So it's over in the back corner there. Those little things also from Bunnings, really handy to store things on. This is how easy it is. People ask, is it manual? How long does it take? What if the battery goes flat? And if the battery did go flat or we didn't have power, you can see we can manually do it as well. This is literally how simple it is and how you can nearly double the space in your van. And for me, that is totally winning in life. A lot of our friends that we meet on the road, their beds get used as the lounge. A lot of sand and crap in them. I don't want sandy kids in my bed. Pop these down the side. And that is your bed done. We have a step so the kids can reach stuff in the freezer. We get up and boom. That is how simple our drop down bed is. And for me, by far, the most favorite thing in the Caravan. We also have the fans. I wouldn't be without these. They pretty much turn every which way. They're Sirocco. We've got some reading lights there, bright lights at the back. Because we have the bike rack on the front, we can't actually open that window, but we still wanted a window there for the light. And we get quite a good breeze through here with these windows. I'm stoked with the van. The storage, the size, the space. We've got tons of bench room, which is great if, you know, you're doing meal prep. Most vans I went in, I would get claustrophobic if I was in there with another person because it was so tiny and I just had to get out. So I love that you can actually have a few people in here and not have that feeling. The only thing I would change is the stupid door knob handle thing. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments. Also make sure you head over to our Facebook page where we have tons of information on the van, and there's a written copy of all the inclusions that we have. So now I'm going to show you how quick it is to get it down, and literally for the room that it gives you, it is so worth it. And for me, if I don't get sleep, I don't cope with life. And I would nearly say that this mattress is more comfortable than the one we had at home. We had a custom built one with my side being my color and the other side being Nathan's. Make sure that's all in there. And literally, we just push a button and wait for it to go up. Something that felt homely, that had a bit of room. We work on the road and the kids do the distance education. I knew we'd be environments where it was really, really hot and we didn't necessarily want to work outside with the flies, the mozzies and everything like that. But also if it's crappy weather and rainy, wanted a place where we could sit and not be on top of each other. A lot of the vans we went in had the bed here and a tiny little seating area, and most of them, the 5 of us, wouldn't have been able to sit down together and you would have had people sitting in the middle. So something that was super important for me, and what I loved is that I can literally lay down here, don't mind my dirty feet, literally have space. This moves around, so it is so versatile. The other thing is you can sleep extra people here if you wanted to. So it's technically a 7 people van, but if you had kids, man, you could fit 5 or 6 there. We haven't done it yet, but you could. We also have a ton of people asking about these picnic rugs. They are from Salty Aura, and we'll put a link in the video because I've had a ton of people buy them because they are perfect for on the road. And the reason we went with the rust theme, and we literally wanted a beach house, was it blends with all of the red dust.
Thanks for watching!
Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bells. Comment down when done, you might get shout out.